Hey, everybody out there in YouTube land. It's Bariatric Bernie coming at you again. Second video. Get a few likes on the first one. I got one subscriber. I don't know who it is. Whoever it is, thank you. Anybody who else watched my first video, thank you as well. I don't know. It's just kind of neat that I get to share my experiences with people, and if anybody ever has any questions, comments, concerns, uh, lay it on me. I'm kind of an open book, and I'll tell you what I think, what I don't think, or if I think at all. It depends on who you ask. But this week, I was going to change it up a little bit just because, you can't do the same stuff every week. Last week, I talked about who I am, why I'm here, what led me to this point, my weight, smoking, everything. And it's kind of weird to put yourself out there. I watched the video after I was done, and it's definitely a learning experience. And you know, it's something that, like I had said, I just want to share with people, and maybe it helps them, maybe it doesn't. So I'm back in my kitchen. As you can see, I'm allergic to sleeves. I I don't think I've worn a regular T-shirt except for once when I had to go up to Boston. That was actually last week. Um, Besides that, it's summertime, and as they say, sun's out, guns out. And currently working on them. So that's kind of a little intro of what I wanted to talk about this week. I should say not intro, but leading me into what I want to talk about, which is the gym life. And it's basically, I've got, and you guys can't see it, but they are actually, no, you can see it. All this stuff is right here about my vitamins that I take, my daily regimen, and also what I take for pre, intra, and post workout. Not necessarily the food I'm going to cover. I'm going to cover nutrients and not nutrients. Geez, what's the word I'm looking for? Uh, I'm just gonna I'm just gonna show you what I take. Let's just say it that way. Makes it a lot easier. So I'm gonna kind of do these in order because when I start off in the morning, I wake up, I roll out of bed, and the first thing that I do is I swig water. And being a bariatric patient, you're not supposed to swig or chug or pound, whatever you want to call it. But as I've progressed in the amount of time that I've had since my surgery, um, I can do a little bit more advanced eating techniques, if you will, which is just weird because you figure, hey, I used to be able to chug whatever. Well, you can't now because it hurts, it doesn't feel good, it's not good for you. Everything that I was told by the doctors and everything that I've read and seen online basically points to, take your time with eating and be diligent about chewing your food thoroughly. Small bites. If you're gonna drink water, sip it just a little bit each, every minute or whatever. And I can say that I live in the real world, and things don't work that way. My job, I can't always work that way. I can't sit down for half an hour, 45 minutes, and get a little scoop of food and a little bit of this, and it doesn't work. So, one thing that I do that the doctors told me not to do is I graze. And it's just something that I have to do because of my time constraints. So, that was a little bit off topic, but just to give you kind of an idea about, what you shouldn't be doing. And anybody who's new to the bariatric world, follow what the doctors say because it works. And then I think as you progress, then you can kind of come up with your own ideas and regimens and way to do things that fits your life. Because we don't live in a bubble. We don't live on a piece of paper that says, X, Y, Z, do it this way. So, first thing in the morning, where is it? Because usually, here we go. First thing I take is good old vitamin B12. And I take that because basically of the gym, and also it's just an excellent vitamin for the way your body works. These ones, in particular from Nutricost, I found them on Amazon. Relatively cheap. Good dosage actually, and as far as the amount that you get for the money, it's awesome. Nutricost, actually, you're going to see a lot of them as I go on. But B12, I take one in the morning. Next one I take is same thing, Nutricost, and that's vitamin D3. Anybody that's been outside, and I mean, you can see on me, I got a bit of a tan. Now, maybe you can't see. Listen, my phone's about 2 years old, and I just haven't gotten a new one yet. But the D3 that I take because as I've gone down the world of bodybuilding, they talk about vitamin D3, and they talk about how beneficial it is to building muscle, losing weight, and some people aren't out in the sun. I particularly am all the time because of my job, and I'm sure that I get enough of it. However, I also know and understand that as part of being a bariatric patient, our bodies don't absorb nutrients and vitamins and minerals the way that a person's stomach who has not had the surgery does. So maybe it's overkill, maybe it's a little bit too much, but I'm not dropping dead, and I'm not, there's no side effects to it. It's extra dose, and if my body doesn't use it, it just gets rid of it. So, I don't mind taking extra of something because as my body doesn't process things, that's just what I have to do. But those two are every morning, along with this one's gonna get you if you're a big kid like me. The old Flintstones chewables. And these ones in particular, they're complete and they're with iron. And iron is something that a bariatric patient has a very tough time taking in. And it's something that the doctor right away pointed out. Number one, you're going to be on vitamins for the rest of your life. You have to take them every day. So you got to budget it, which they're not expensive. I buy them off Amazon. Usually find them either on sale, or what I do is I do the subscribe and save. And every couple of months, I get a new bottle, and I'm going to use them, and they're not going to go bad. So if I'm, a half a bottle ahead because of the subscribe and save, whatever. I just take it. They taste good. I might switch up to the gummies at some point, but I tried, they're called berry melts. That was right after surgery. I handled them for about 2 weeks, and then I wanted to puke every time I put them in my mouth. It's kind of gross. And, the Flintstones, they get a decent flavor. What are these? Yeah, I don't even know the flavor, but it's flavored like Barney and Wilma and Fred and Dino, and they're just good. They're a great complete vitamin. They have iron in them, and they're what I need for my daily intake. Because, like I was saying before, we don't absorb the way that most other people do. So, something that actually just came in the mail today that I've been doing some research on. A couple of the YouTube channels that I watch. There's this one gentleman called Jeff Nippard, or Nippard. I watched the guy, and he's a younger kid. But what I like about his particular channel, yeah, he shows you bodybuilding techniques because that's what he does. But also at the same time, he cites studies and scientific facts. And one thing that he had mentioned, and it was another one, I don't know if it was, I don't even know who it was. But I started reading into it because I do have trouble sleeping sometimes. That might be a part of overworking myself at the gym. It may be a part of what I eat. I don't know. Which, and we'll find out a little bit later in the video, one of the supplements that I take has a lot of caffeine. And when I take that versus when I go to bed, that may be something as well. But I've been taking it for so long that I don't think it's that caffeine, because I used to be able to drink a 2 liter of Coke at the end of the night, and within a half an hour I'll fall asleep. Maybe that was the sugar that was helping me fall asleep. Maybe it was the amount of food I was eating with it. But you get the idea of I could handle a lot of caffeine, especially when I was drinking Captain and Coke. Then you got the Red Bull and Jaeger, the old Jaeger bombs. Got me into a lot of trouble. But what I found out was this stuff supposedly is good for sleeping, as far as it will help you get a deeper sleep and also relax you a little bit. And it may be good for depression, and it may be good for quite a few other things, including muscle building. But there's not been extensive studies with, say, like creatine. Nowhere even near it. So, what I've found out is ashwagandha. Pretty fancy name there. And let me hold this up for you. There we go. Very nice. I'm like Vanna White with a beard. I wish I made her money. But this stuff, I just got it in the mail today. I took my first pill today, and I tracked it on my phone that I started the capsules, and I'm going to see how it goes. A lot of studies that I've read say don't stay on it for more than about 8 weeks. I'm going to see how it goes, see what it does, because I don't know how I'm going to react to it. The side effects are upset stomach, possible diarrhea, some other junk. I don't see it as any worse as the stuff you see on TV where they list off about 50 side effects that will damn near kill you, and it's usually worse than whatever you're trying to mitigate. So it's 600 milligrams, and it's about 120 capsules. Nutricost, yet again. And I'm going to see how it works. Maybe it works for some people. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it works for me. I don't know. I'm going to find out. So I'll kind of keep you guys up to date on that. And if anybody has any questions about if I'm feeling anything or if my sleep's changed, because I can tell you last night I had a terrible night's sleep. And that's very odd for me and actually basically anybody in my family, because we can usually fall asleep at the drop of a hat. So it is what it is. I'll see what I can do. So I mentioned during this, again, was, I'm going to do these in order as well, because that's exactly what I say. So another Nutricost product here, which, like I was saying before, you see a little bit of a theme. It's because, one, Nutricost has a good rating on Amazon. Two, the pricing is about, it's either at or below everybody else for the same amount. And this stuff is something that I've cycled on and cycled off because I wanted to see what the difference was. I wanted to know for myself, is this good? Is this bad? Does this help? Does this not? And that is the old creatine monohydrate. And it's monohydrate. It's not any form of other creatine. I've done enough research myself and also listened to the guys that do the studies, like Jeff Nippard, Sean Nalawane, I think is his last name. It's spelled a different way, and you think he can... But anyways, these two guys are all science related. But every single... on bodybuilding.com, on their YouTube channel. What's his name? Evan Senapani. He's a bodybuilder as well, that I follow. All the way to the Mountain Dog. And if you know who he is, then I don't really need to explain. And he's just an awesome guy. He's an awesome source of information. Unfortunately, he actually passed away, I think it was like a month before I discovered his YouTube channel. Um, and, you know, his real name is John Meadows. And I watched his background story. Fascinating, super, super nice guy. Talks about what to eat, nutrition. Awesome. But back to the creatine here. Every single person that I've heard from in every single study says creatine, add it, love it, live on it. It's not going to hurt you. It's the most extensively researched supplement, and it works. I can tell you that I started taking creatine last year, and I noticed a little bit of an increase in my physique and also my workouts. Um, so what I wanted to do was, once I was on it, I kind of kept track of my phone about, how big are my biceps, what's my overall workout here, and I noticed a plus, and then I said, well, let's get off of it, see what happens. So that's exactly what I did. I got off of it for a month straight, and I logged what I did, and I'll tell you, after about a week and a half of being off of it, which I'm guessing that's because it got out of my system by then, my everything kind of seemed to drop. I did notice that my physique looked a little bit less. I noticed that my workouts and also work, because I am very physical at work, definitely were dropped off, and my energy level was way down. And that's the only thing that I changed. My diet was the same. So basically, I was like the control lab rat. That everything else stayed the same. My work, my work changes almost never. I'm either in a trench raking, I'm in a trench shoveling, setting a septic tank, laying pipe, um, and it's always the same. So, in a minute here, my son's going to be walking through. But hold on one second, folks.